My name is Teen Guerrero. I'm the creative director at Sanzaru Games. Sanzaru Games is working on a sports game. We're calling it VR Sports Challenge. And sports is a natural, right? Like, I think you guys even said so in your preview article, but sports is a natural fit for any sort of first-person experience. But in VR, this is totally something new. Like, we're trying to put you in the shoes of an elite athlete and have you experience not even like the thrill of, like, you know, scoring a goal or making a save or anything like that, but just standing in an arena with 17,000 plus fans focused on you and waiting for you to make a move. There's something just completely different about it compared to traditional sports games where you're seeing it through the mask. In our demo, you're seeing it through the mask of a hockey goalie. That's the kind of stuff that we're doing, and that's why I'm so excited about VR. The sports available in VR Sports Challenge, we're showing hockey here at E3, but football, American football, baseball, and basketball. I am a real football player, not American football, so, you know, in the future we'll see what happens, but American football for now. Regarding the sickness issue, you know, it's definitely an issue. This VR stuff, Oculus, it's like the wild, wild west, you know? Like, you just don't know until you try it. It's like trial and error, experimentation. I'll tell you, like, honestly, what we really do is we identify the most VR adverse people in the office, and we go for it, and we try a new, you know, we implement a new feature, and then we strap them into the game and see how they do. And, you know, we always joke, we've got the throw up bucket right next to them, see if it works, but it works great. It's like, you know, more often than not, stuff that you think that isn't going to work does. And the stuff that does not work, it's like riding a bull, at least in America. Like, I think you have to stand for 7 or 8 seconds to win or something like that. Like, it's a little bit like that developing in VR. Like, you put the thing on and then, like, check out something, and if it doesn't work, you're off the bull. You're done, and we know that feature or that way of implementing something isn't going to work. But it's definitely, we're making a first-person experience. So any sort of movement with the camera, people definitely get sensitive to. So we're concentrating on fixed camera situations for the most part in our sports games. So you're the goalie, you're sitting in the net, and you can look anywhere, you can move left, right, save, block, everything. But where it gets tricky in terms of development is whenever you do camera switches. And so we've come up with a number of, you know, comfortable camera switches through a lot of trial and error that works really well. So the experience that we're showing here is hockey, and, you know, one of the interesting things about just making a sports game, like for example hockey, is you wear a mask. You know, you put on a helmet with a mask, and getting set to play the game, you're doing the same thing. You're putting on this thing that fits like a baseball cap, and there's something visceral about that feeling of, you know, this thing on your head, and in the game you're wearing a hockey mask. So it starts with that. In the game, you're a hockey goalie and you've been knocked out. There's less than 2 minutes to go. Your team is up 4-1, and you're coming to, and you've clearly been concussed, but you're coming to, and your captain skates up to you and says, hey, you okay? Checks you out, gives you the old school, like, concussion test. Clearly no concussion protocol, but he's like, just get back out there, you need to make these saves, we're counting on you, let's go. And playing the game, it's we're focusing on something that's really accessible but fun, and it ramps and it ramps and it ramps. So the way you play is you just look at the puck. Just look at the puck, and can you follow this puck? It's the most basic input that you can do in an Oculus is how well can you look at something? Can you track this? Can you move your head? Can you follow it? And there's something just fun about that. But then the shots start flying at you. So we also focus on simple, accessible inputs. If it's coming to your left, use the left bumper. If it's coming to your right, use the right bumper. Done. but the shots get faster and faster and faster as you play over those 2 minutes. So yeah, and then we have a scoring system, which apparently within Oculus right now there's a leaderboard that there's some fierce competition apparently around. So it's a fun game, and I can't wait to start showing and start building more of the game around the other sports as well. Yeah, the reason why we're not doing a traditional simulation, like I know, you know, when we were introduced, it was introduced as a simulation. It's a simulation in the sense that you are an elite sports athlete, and you're standing in an arena, and the arena looks real. There's ads, there's things flashing everywhere, there's crowds standing up and down, there's coaches on the bench yelling at you, there's teammates skating in and out. But the thing about traditional sports is that there's TV timeouts, there's commercial breaks, there's penalties, there's all this stuff that is dead time. There's even just dead time, you know, not as much fun time on the ice. So we take like a traditional sports experience and we're condensing it. We're condensing, you know, an average of 30-35 shots in a hockey game down into 2 minutes, a 2 minute to 5 minute experience. And I explained a little bit about the game, like we're really reaching for like the soul of like NBA Jam a little bit, where it's a more arcadey gameplay experience, in a sense that we accelerate things and more shots happen, and we take the best moments, the moments that like sports fans would almost imagine, you know, in their backyards playing, you know, oh, it's 5 seconds left, I got the ball, what am I going to do? Shoot. We're taking those kind of mythical moments and giving you the chance to play them and experience them in VR. Yeah, absolutely. The Oculus Touch is something we are so excited about. Like, I mean, like they said, everybody first putting on the Oculus reaches out and touches, and you know, even our first prototypes just down the roads of each one of our sports, yeah, we integrated like, you know, controllers that, you know, accept motion input and stuff like that, just as prototyping. You know, for example, we had, you know, football where you could actually throw the ball, and it was so much fun. So we cannot wait to, you know, show what we've been working on with the touch, and actually we can't wait to refine what we have, because it's going to be so awesome and so natural. You know, there's something boiling down, you know, for example, a hockey save to a button. It's good and it's gamey, but boiling down somebody throwing a football like to a button press, it's just not as satisfying as, you know, doing something like this. Like, that's, Wii Sports was a hit because it was accessible to everybody and it was natural. You did natural motions, and I really hope that you know, we can hit on the same thing with the Oculus Touch. I can't wait to start using it. It is Sanzaru's, yes, this is Sanzaru's first sports title. It's not to say that we haven't done sports games before. I'm a big sports gamer. The core of Sanzaru, before we formed 8 years ago, was Z-Axis. We were at Z-Axis Games, and we made, for the English audience, we made 3 Lions, the official England team game of the 1998 World Cup, which was great. And good fun, and so we have made sports games. We also made Dave Mayer Freestyle BMX for Acclaim over the years, and Aggressive Inline. So we've definitely done sports games. And you know, when this opportunity arose, it was like, yes, we know sports games. Yes, we know Sly. Yes, we know Sonic. But something about VR and sports is just like, it comes together like peanut butter and jelly, and you can't wait to start showing people everything more just beyond hockey. Absolutely. A platformer in VR would be so much fun. I had a lot of fun playing Lucky's Tale. I think it's awesome. It's very highly polished. The camera's awesome. Like, something that you wouldn't think would work is a good camera in VR in third person, but it does. So yeah, we would definitely, you know, be highly interested in doing it. We'll see what we can work out with Oculus, but for now we're concentrating on VR Sports Challenge. VR and Sanzaru's future is something that, boy, if you asked me 6 months ago, I would have been like, yeah, whatever. I've been waiting for VR for probably 20 years, ever since like Lawnmower Man and, you know, Jaron Lanier coining the phrase virtual reality and stuff like that. Like, it's been a promise that's always been held out there. But I mean, I think it comes down to like, I think the developers, some of these developers that I've had a chance to talk to that are also developing for Oculus, we all kind of have this origin story that starts with the Crescent Bay demo. I haven't been as excited for something in the game industry since, I mean, I don't know, I might be stretching here, but like that, the first PlayStation 1 demo, I was at Activision at the time, and they came around and they showed us, like, I remember the T-Rex that came walking around and stuff like that, like, and there were, that was like this realization, like, oh man, we can really push around like this polys to make things look real. And you know, now I look back and laugh, I could laugh at myself for thinking that that looked real compared to what you can see with Oculus. So I think so. I think VR it has that draw that, yeah, could be the next thing in video games. I think we certainly think so. The challenge with it is that it's such a personal experience. You know, you can't, it's not something that anybody can see until they strap in, and then they look around, and you know, everybody's first experience is like this amazement and wonder. And so it's really hard. I can show you screenshots, I can show you, you know, video of the game, but it's just until you experience it and see this puck actually flying at your face at 100 miles an hour and bouncing off your mask, like it's something that you can't see. Like I'm the one that put that in. I'm the one that said the puck will fly at you at this particular moment, and I still flinch because it's so real. It's coming right at me. Yeah, as far as the launch for VR Sports, it's entirely up to Oculus, but we certainly are building it to be a launch-ready title. You know, all the sports are fully playable right now and fun, and it's a matter of, you know, starting to craft it for us these last months of development, just craft, you know, the full experience around it and put all that polish on it, and continue to refine our best practices as they completely evolve through the VR process. So.